Thank you so much for the opportunity to be part of the process to find the best candidates for the election for the ACT. I'll tell you a little bit about my story, my view of Canberra, and give you a sense of what I'm doing here tonight. I grew up in a Canberra that was cared for by the federal government, and when we put on our rose-coloured glasses to look back at the good old days, we remember lush parks, green, well-maintained ovals, better healthcare, better education, and some of that was possibly true. But we didn't have a say in where the money was spent in Canberra, and we didn't have a say about the decisions that were made in Canberra. So as a very young person, as we moved to self-government, I saw it as growing up as a city. I saw it about having control over where the city went. I saw it as control for our culture, and it ignited in me an interest in politics and an interest in the best for our city. How am I going with the mic, Thomas? It's okay. Canberra bashing was really alive and well when we didn't have self-government, and it still exists. But when we didn't have self-government, everyone thought we were a very expensive city to run. And I think that also ignited in me a passion to build a city to resist the Canberra bashing. I have a strong interest in social justice, and this has emerged from working in a variety of different government departments where I got glimpses outside the bubble in Canberra. And when you get a glimpse outside the bubble, it gives you a deep gratitude for living in the bush city. My work in government showed me that politics can be the key to change, and so much has changed throughout my career. Few women were in parliamentary office when I grew up, and when I started my job in the public service, there were no women in the senior management or executive positions. Over time, though, that has slowly changed, and my understanding of equality has changed. I still believe it's important to lift representation of women in politics and senior roles, but I can see that women are just the tip of the iceberg. In this wonderful city, where in 1977 we were the only city to vote yes to become a republic, where we easily voted yes on the plebiscite to recognise same-gender marriage, where we recently voted yes in a referendum to give a voice to Indigenous people, and no one was surprised. We showed that we're a city that's courageous about change. But I think the two major employers, the Commonwealth and the Territory, need to do more to employ from the populace. As I worked in various policy programs that had grants and programs to support the most vulnerable people in Australia, including at the senior executive level in refugee settlement, in migrant settlement, in disability, what was common to people was they just wanted meaningful employment. I don't think we see in our government workplaces in the ACT people from all walks of life. The bias, the barriers, the disadvantage, all of that inspired me to try and achieve the highest office that I could achieve to affect change. It's tough in Australia at the moment, and it's tough in Canberra. But we are the knowledge city, the innovation city, the test bed city. We have a chance to lead on solutions, as Thomas said, to complex problems. And some of the things I think we need to fix have come through tonight. It shouldn't be true here that our youngest have poorer outcomes for literacy than elsewhere in the country. It shouldn't be true here that if you have a mental health condition, there isn't enough help for you. It shouldn't be harder here than it ever has been before for you to own your own home. There are other things to fix, large and small, and I have been approached by other parties to run in this election and previous. What attracts me about the independents for Canberra is a promise of driving positive change based on what people in electorates want. And while I talk about that, I acknowledge my colleague Fiona Carrick, who's here, an independent, not part of the Independents for Canberra, but a very passionate, hard-working person from Murrumbidgee who we understand will be running as an independent in this election and has been very supportive of us as we find our feet. I like the relentless positivity. It's a nice place to be. I want to be part of a movement that raises people's heads up to what is possible for the future. I have much respect for what successive ACT governments have done. I enjoyed not having prolonged lockdown during the pandemic. I did get a bit of a puffed out chest that we had the first drive-through testing station and we had it in a matter of days. I like that we lead on sustainability, and it's in that spirit of positivity that I would choose to participate. Strong, positive support, if elected, for initiatives that align with views and aspirations of the residents of Murrumbidgee. That the ACT lead on change and reform where it's required and holds other parties to their policies and promises. I think the candidates coming forward, as I think you agree, with the Independents for Canberra will restore our faith and our confidence in our political processes. They bring a new positive energy and a principled approach. I'm on board with the commitment that they have made and that I make, that not only in the lead up to the election we'll listen to the voices and be in our communities, but we'll respond to our communities and be present in our communities if any of us are elected. Questions?